This is the greatest show. That's going to be in my head all morning.
We are live on Social Surge.
Good morning. Bright and early.
All right, we are live on the gram. Good morning. Welcome to Social Surge with Fly and Mo. Fly will be joining us in just a little bit. Got to listen to the background music that we made for Dr. Drey, the whitest Dr. Drey that you'll ever know.
I'm the albino Dr. Drey.
Which is the whole premise of this entire thing. Lindsay Barden's joining us over on the gram. Good morning. Good morning, Beth. Also joining us on the gram. We are talking with Dr. Drey Campbell. We're going to have to discuss that today, who is joining us, and we're going to be talking about Google Business Profile. You and I actually did something about this. We did a presentation on this back in September at CREI Summit. And I think one of the interesting things that most people don't realize with Google Business Profile is that it's not just, it's not just setting it up, right? It's not just like putting it out there and then that's it. Oh, good morning. Alan Buchanan says,
hey, the man.
But so it's not just actually just setting it up and then just set it and forget it, right? There's a method to your madness. So we are introducing the concept of N.W.A, which is Niche Web Authority. And of course, I had to play with Dr. Drey. I had to play with all that stuff because that's what we do here. Good morning, Regalado Real Estate. Thanks for joining us over on the gram. If you're not building it on Google, you are invisible. So Drey, without further ado, tell us who you are, what you do in commercial real estate, and how you got started focusing on Google Business Profile.
That's good. Thank you, Mo, for the fantastic introduction. I love it. Although I think you should freestyle next time.
You were freestyling when we came in. I was very impressed.
Correct, but you can't show that to the world. It's too fresh. Yeah, I'm Dr. Drey Campbell. Once upon a time, a collegiate professor of the social work arts, former clinical counselor back in the day. So I'm really good at working with sociopaths. So that's made me an exceptional commercial real estate broker over time. Maybe I should say narcissist, or maybe I should say borderline personality traits, or just people on the anxiety spectrum. Whatever it is, we're all dealing with something, but I can help any client amongst the mental health DSM diagnoses categories. But it's been awesome.
I did not know that about you. And that's actually very fascinating. If you were to do, like, this is just how my brain works, but if you were to do the correlation between salespeople and then some of those personality traits, I think we would. It's interesting. We would find a connection.
It's fun. I have a lot of ability when it comes to mediation, let's say that. And in a lot of deals, there requires mediation and calming down and recentering and helping people to achieve their goals. And those are all things that you learn in the therapeutic environment. So, side note. So when I came into commercial real estate, which I'm a commercial real estate broker, I'm a principal with Lee & Associates, Idaho, a CCIM designee. And when I came into commercial real estate, I was coming out of higher education, right? So obviously I had grown up here in the Idaho where I'm from, and I had a lot of local connections. But when you do a massive career switch, you kind of need to figure out a way to recast your identity to the public. And so I was thinking, how do I do this effectively? And when I came into commercial real estate, I realized, and this I believe is the same in a lot of markets, that the people who are exceptional at it and doing well tend to be in their late 40s, 50s, early 60s. And they're really good at what they do. There's a lot of really talented people, but nobody was utilizing the online platform. And this was 7 years ago, right? Before, I think you could make the case before social media and brokerage was really on social media in a heavy way.
Right.
And like, I kind of saw it coming. And there was a guy in our market who was doing more. And, Blake Haggett, he's a part of the CREI network. And I saw him and he was like posting semi-regularly. And I was like, man, this guy, like, he's not at a big brokerage. He's a younger guy, but he's getting a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, how do I maximize the value of being a new professional in a new field? And I don't have the skill set and the wisdom and the just the years of history that some of the other guys have. So how do I differentiate myself? And so LinkedIn was one of the ways, but then I looked at Google Business and I was like, there's no, like, I would Google like who's a good commercial real estate agent, right? And it would pull up a couple websites, but nobody was like on Google Business. And I was like, man, when I go to like find a plumber, go to Google and I ask it and I pull up the Google business profiles. When I go to find an orthodontist or a chiropractor or a acupuncturist or whatever it is, right? Like come to your house, dog treatment therapist, who knows this, you're
Yeah.
going to look on there. Right. And so like,
Right.
I was like, why is nobody using this? Like, this is like, maybe this is my little avenue, right? Like I'm going to find my little niche. And so every deal I did from there forward, I was a stalker with my clients and title companies and lenders and everyone. And I was like, hey, I need you to leave me a Google review. Like this is life or death for me. Like, and I really did feel that way. Like I have to find a way to be successful in this. And that was my avenue. And I focused heavily on it. And I learned over time that you can set it and forget it. And good job if you did. Like you're 50% better than half the people out there. Like most people
Right.
don't even have a page in the first place.
Right.
Like that was the first thing, right? Getting a page, which seemed daunting. And we talked about it that day in when we did our training, because you have to go through a couple of loops. You have to like show them who you are, that you actually run the business, that you have a hard address. They have to send you an address verification form. It takes a few weeks. It's kind of a
It's kind
monotonous
of a
task.
long, drawn out process to actually get verified. And sometimes you have to be patient because right away it's not going to happen. I know that
Yeah.
in our particular situation, when we went from our home office here in Spokane to our PO box, basically, which is it's a UPS store. They didn't want to give it to us at first. They wanted to keep
Mhm.
our home address, and I didn't want to keep my home address on the internet for everybody to see, right? So
Yeah.
not that they couldn't get it, but I'm just saying, like, let's lessen the ability for people for this to happen. And so took, I'm pretty sure it took 3 tries for us to get verified before finally um, Google Business. And at that time, it was Google My Business. They've changed the name. So sometimes you'll hear people say Google My Business. It is now officially Google Business Profile. But it can take some time, but why would you not do it, right? It's a free opportunity for you to have real estate on the right hand side of the screen when somebody does a Google search. And so you're 100% correct when you're saying, like, 50%. 50% of you don't even have one out there. So if you do have something and you've just set it and forget it, at least you're doing better than most.
Yeah, and you're right. It's kind of a war of attrition. And in a world where everything is at our fingertips and we can get it immediately, and now we can have Claude agents kind of come and agentic AI do things for us. Like we don't want to kind of go through the old school processes. And so having to get hard mail, go in and type something in and verify yourself, it seems archaic, but it's worth it. And so, yeah, so first of all, I saw that as leverage, right? And also as a new broker, and I came out of the field of higher education, I didn't have a lot of dough, right? Like I wasn't like, hey, I'm just going to throw 10 grand at this. Like I was like, I got to find a way to get free advertising.
Right.
And so you don't have to pay to get Google reviews. You probably can, that might be illegal, but you don't have to. Like you can go out and get people to give you reviews, friends, family, and clients, right? And they can give you reviews and you start showing up higher in the SEO search results. And they have Google automatically populate you higher, right? When you have reviews. So there I am now. All of a sudden, I'm competing with the large nationals right there in my market, and it's myself with my brokerage name after me. So it's like it's an asset that I'm curating for my own personal business, which is great. And so it's not costing me any money whatsoever, and it's giving me search results, and people are starting to call. And as I've gotten further down the road, like obviously you get the reviews, but now I've found that really writing your content to your
Mm,
Google page updates has been an exceptional way to increase your
Visibility.
findability, both on both within like Google search, right? But also with the AI searches, right? And so if you're being responsive, which I think the algorithm, and this is your field, right? So I'm not even going to try to act like I know, but I think the algorithm tracks humanness. And so if you're being responsive and you're posting things that are relevant to your clients in your market, and you're responding to reviews, and you're also mindful of keyword search terminology, then it can really help you become relevant when people are searching for that service in your area.
Right, absolutely. So relevance and locality, super important when you're doing that Google business profile. You hit on keyword search. Know what your keywords are, and there's tools. We've talked about these tools before. You can go to Answer the Public. They did have. Real quick, Ben Nolte series joined us over on the gram. Good morning, Ben.
What's
Thanks for
up,
joining.
Ben?
We got Dr. Drey Campbell in the house, and he's talking about Google business profile. And so let me go back to relevance and locality. So in the keyword search, Answer the Public is a tool and a resource that I highly recommend people use and figure out for your niche. Because again, we're talking about niche web authority, N.W.A. We're talking about the fact that you should own your niche. When you own your niche, you are visible. And if you're trying, this is a mistake that a lot of people make when it comes to Google and it comes to keywords, is they try to rank for everything. And it's like, you can't rank for everything. I've been on the side of the paid keywords. That is 100% its own job in of itself when we're talking about SEO, because you can have somebody there. I'm sure agentic AI could potentially do it, where they're searching through the keywords and then bidding on keywords. It's actually getting a little bit in the weeds for some of you when we're talking about paid ads. Ben Nolte says 1, 2, 3 into the 4. Mo Regalado and Dr. Drey is at your door. Freaking love it.
Ain't forgot about Drey.
And Dr. Fromage has joined us over on the gram. Good morning, Dr. Fromage. So I don't want to get into the weeds about paying for keywords, but using resources like Answer the Public to make sure that you have those keywords in either your description or when you're creating the content is super important. You can use AI now too to help you get and find those keywords for your niche. There's so much information that's available out there that not making use of some of these resources is almost ridiculous. So, Drey, I know people are going to ask, and we'll get into it. First of all, I want to talk about your process, and then second, I actually want to talk about what probably most people are interested. Have you made money off of Google Business Profile?
Yeah. Yeah. I certainly have, right? Like, yes, like people call me and they're random and they say, "Hey, Drey." First they call, "Hey, Drey," and you go, like, have we been friends? Is this a friend from high school that I forgot about? Like, one of the good things about having an online presence, whether at Google or LinkedIn or everything, is people feel like they know you. They've been researching you for a day already. So to them, you're not a stranger. So when they call, they say, "Hey, what's going on?" And I have a building, right? I have a building. I really am looking forward to selling. Actually, this just happened, right? I have some land I want to sell. And it's down by the river in a bustling area. It's a mixed use land. We had a tenant moving out, and I just would really like you to kind of come give me your opinion of value. It seems like you know a lot. And I'm like, well, that's great. Like, you figured all that out in a 7-minute phone call. And they're like, no, I saw when I searched you on Google, you came up. And so it instantly has opened up doors for multiple conversations. I like to think that it's a global process and not just the Google, right? Someone searches you on Google, they see that you have reviews, they go and look at you on your other platforms, they see where those are. But I think the average boomer or the Gen Xer, they probably go on there and they use Google first, right? We've been trained to Google things, and I'm in that too, right? Like, now I'm focusing more on AI. I think a lot of people are moving in the AI direction, like the younger generations, but the classic person who's not stuck on AOL is going to go over to Google and they're going to say, yeah, I still deal with a lot of older clients that are
I'm
AOL
sure.
users for sure in this field, especially in this market. And so they say, hey, I found you on Google. And you say, well, that's fantastic. What did you see? And I just saw that, you had 200 plus people that said they had good interactions with you. So I figured like you can't convince that many people to write your reviews. So there must be something you're doing right. And so and then you have to show up and do the work, right? It's not like, okay, hey, let's just put you in the queue and see what happens. Like when you show up and do the work and you do a good job at it, then the business is repetitive. It's a cycle, right? And then they leave you a review and then it's good. And then AI sees that they left you a review and you responded and said, hey, that was awesome that you liked working with me. I liked working with you in commercial real estate in Idaho when you called me and I wanted to help you, like these things that
Right.
are organic and real, like it's transparent, it's authentic, it's real relational dialect on the web. And I think that's what people are searching for.
Yeah, one of the things that the responsiveness is super important. So when somebody leaves you a review, you should absolutely respond. Good, bad, neutral, whatever. The person you need to respond to the person who left you a review. Um, you are correct when you said I think that the algorithms pick up the responsiveness 100%. They're taking into account those actions, whether you're on social media, whether you're on Google, it's all happening there. That's constantly being updated with information. How responsive is this person to these things? Have a great day, Alan. We'll see you.
Take care, Alan.
And so it is imperative that you pay attention to what is happening on your Google business profile. What do you think are some of the specific actions that move the needle for Google visibility, for people to find you? What is moving that?
I think, like I said, going out and getting reviews, and do not be embarrassed to ask from your friends and family to start if you have to. Like, pick some low hanging fruit. Like, obviously, don't go to the client that had a super stressful transaction. You had a rough closing, like things didn't show up. Like, that's not your first choice, right?
Right.
Go to the person that you've done 5 deals with, or if you're just starting in CRE, go to your old professor, right? And be like, hey, I graduated from your class. I loved your economics class. I loved your finance class. Do you mind leaving me a Google review to help me? Like, professors will love to help you. Like, people in your network will love to help you. Your uncle or your aunt or anybody, like, they're going to love to help you. Like, have them write just some gleaming reviews about your character and who you are and what things you do, right? Coworkers. I was so bold as to ask other agents, right? Like, hey, if you leave me a review, like, I'm happy to go and leave a review on your page, which you don't have. And so it it's a great reciprocal process that you can utilize with people. And I think that doing that, and then, like I said, being authentic in your responses, like, I use AI for a lot of tools and things, but when I do my Google responses, I always, like, AI doesn't have the memories and the emotions and the wisdom that I have and the things that, like, the recollections I have from the previous transactions, right? So I try to pull in specific heartfelt emotional ties to the transaction that I
Right.
think a reader would read and they're like, oh, like, he cared about that transaction, or he cared about these people, or he was really in tune with what was going on. So people could understand that I am a human and that you're working with a human, and that's okay. And that's good.
Right. I think one of the things that impresses me when I go, because I share your profile with clients when I'm talking to prospects. And I know that one of the things that impresses me is how often you are actively creating content for it. And it's not like, I can tell that it's you. You are there, you're writing it. What is your process for creating content? Is it the same for like social media? How often are you posting? That's a good question.
Oh, Mo, I wish I was consistent in everything in my life. Like, I wish I was so good, and I wish I went to the gym every day, and I wish I ate vegetables every meal. And there's so many things I could be a better husband and father at. My goal is to do it 2 to 3 times per week. And I try to touch on relevant topics for the Valley, I read a lot of local news, right? And I get a lot of local news delivered to me. I try to stay in touch with local commercial real estate trends, both nationally, I've been local and national. And I try to post things that I think people will find interesting enough, but not so long to read that they get sucked into the vortex. So
Mm.
enough to where it's like, hey, he got a couple good reviews. I looked at his last couple posts. They were relevant to the market. He seems to know what he's doing. And we're not a big MSA. But there's certain asset classes I won't touch, right? So there's some certain things I don't want to do. So I try to focus within my niche asset classes, and I really try to niche down to our market in a way. And I'll try to bring global or national news to a local perspective, so people can see that I'm a local market authority and want to work with someone who understands their interior market well and has relationships within their market.
Have you had people from outside of your market contact you and ask you to transact?
Oh yeah, I
Wow.
mean, we are the market people are coming to from California. Like that's, I'd like to say 50% of my business, shockingly, but it's a lot of
Wow.
people that are coming from out of state into Idaho.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
and again, another group that's going to Google because they're not here on the ground, right? Or they're going to use AI. And so they're going to be searching from an outside market, looking into our market. And so they're going to utilize online tools.
Yeah, I didn't think about that perspective. I mean, we're literally right next to Idaho. I'm in Spokane, Washington, and
Yeah.
Coeur d'Alene's just 20 minutes away from me. So when I tell people I'm right on the line, like I'm literally right on the line where I live next to
Yep.
Idaho. We go to Idaho to get gas. So
Yeah. And we get the Seattle transfers, like pretty much from the coastal liberal cities. Anybody that wants to have a more favorable business environment, less
yep.
red tape, more conservative lifestyle, they've kind of transferred into Idaho. And so some of my posts are kind of around that idea, right? Like, what's the lifestyle, right? Like here, like you
Right.
kind of like, I would say you got to cue in to who your potential customer is, right? There's the marketing exercise where you identify your ideal customer and then you kind of focus on targeting what you would say to them if you were in person or if they were reading your posts. And that's kind of what I try to do.
Right. That's that's actually pretty damn brilliant. Well, because I don't think of we post to our Google business profile, but it is an automatic posting. So anything that gets posted on social, on the mobile media social channels, gets posted there too. So I've said this before. I am not a good Google business profile person. I do post regularly to it, but it is content that goes onto our socials. So I'm not being proactive in creating content that is specific to that. I should be.
Should, could, would, right? But I'm not good at posting everywhere else. But for some reason, Google, because it's been my little honeypot, has
Right.
been where I focus, right? And so like that's where I draft the content for that. And sometimes I'll be like, that was pretty good. Maybe I should use it somewhere else. And I'll shorten it and put it on Twitter, which happens once a month or etc.
Now, are you also like when people are do people post questions to your Google business profile? And
No,
and
I've never had a question posted there. And
okay.
I've sometimes I'll do offers, right? Like I'll do a free BOV on my Google business profile or I'll do a promotion. Like there's like different options you can have right there, like a call me and you can put in different calls to action on there. But I tend to stick with just the posting.
Okay. And then are you also posting up like if you have a listing, are you posting that on Google as well?
I have in the past. Haven't utilized that for probably a year or so. Like I tend to take that out just to the other platforms.
Okay,
I think
interesting.
Google is just more of like, yeah, like what's going on locally and in our market and who I am and just kind of updating like on local news or national news on a local level.
How much dollar volume do you think that you've gotten from Google?
Probably over seven figures in gross commission over the
That's not
years.
bad. Not
Yeah,
bad.
which
And
has
you
been
didn't
great.
you didn't spend a dollar for it.
No, nope. I've never paid for Google Ads yet. I did just have a professional commercial recorded from a video company from a guy that he approached me in a coffee shop and took a headshot of me while I was working on my computer while I was super stressed out one day. And he goes, "You just look like you're a kind of guy that's on LinkedIn." And I was like, "I am on LinkedIn." And he's like, I took a headshot for you that, And I was like, I just appreciate that you're so creative that you would take a picture of a stranger. And so it took me down a path with him where I had a professional commercial recorded, and it's fantastic, by the way. And I think I'm going to deploy it and pay for some Google ads for the first time ever. So I may be going into that arena for the first time to see how that works out as well. But
yeah. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do. We have one for the Creducation podcast.
That's right.
Yeah. I think we still call it the Creducation, right? Like we changed the name before. So we need to be better at recording that, talk about consistency. But yes, we have a YouTube channel for our podcast. And I have one personally, but again, like I'm not as consistent as I should be. I'd love to be filming short form content, but
that would be something that I would definitely put on YouTube. Just because thinking about those keywords, thinking about how AI is going to pull up that information, super important. And especially when you have the ability to, I don't know if we're getting more comments. Oh, we had Fly just popped in.
She gave us the St. Patty's Day love. or that's the pukey heart.
Yeah, unfortunately Fly was unable to join us this morning because she had a sick kiddo at home, and I have a sick kiddo upstairs. She's 16 though, so it's a little bit
I think
different.
I got a sick kiddo outside my door. I can hear him right now coughing and complaining. So
mine had, she stayed home yesterday because she's just had this horrid cough. And then she hasn't had, like, I know we're getting kind of outside of, we're talking about family, but she didn't have fever or anything like that, but she's been running hot, like her. So I'm like, okay, we need to take your temp because this is weird.
Well, let's spin this around. This could be a Google business post. You could say, hey, are you at home with your kids sick today and you're looking for something to do? Do you want to review some commercial properties in Idaho? Let me know and I'll get some commercial properties for you to review, because I was sitting home with my sick kid, and there's an authentic, real post that people are going to relate to.
100%, as we're talking about all of our sick kids. So I want to bring this back down to when we talk about social media is the attention, whereas your Google search is the intention. Somebody has the intent to actually look for you. And when we talk about the marketing funnel, and you know that Fly and I talk about this all the time, social media is that top of funnel awareness, right? You're getting your name out there, you're getting your content out there, you're getting your face out there. Yes, people, you have to show your face because humans connect with humans, regardless of what AI tells you. And so it is super important to, it's super important that you're putting your face out there, you're putting your voice out there. So social media is attention. When you look at Google search and AI search, it is intention. The intent is there to come and find you.
And do business with you.
And do business with you 100%, because that's what they're looking for. Drey's telling you that, he's built up his Google business profile over the years, and it has brought him in 7 figures in commissions. Yeah. I mean, hello, like, why wouldn't you do it? So, Drey, if anybody, well, I do have some rapid fire questions that I want to ask you real quick before we pop off. And it's bad. Yes. Don't put that bad juju. Yes. 100%. I think thankfully it's just my kiddo right now. I'm not trying to say that like that, but usually when my son gets sick and he's 19, he's a big baby. And so he's like, Mom, I don't feel good. And then he rubs all over me and I'm like,
oh man. Dude, I know, I got a 3.5-year-old, I swear, and you just feel that hot breath hitting you, and you're like, these germs are definitely going to penetrate.
You're like, can I just?
That's what it is.
Oh, all right. So, Drey, what is one thing every broker should do this week when we're talking about Google Business Profile?
Go claim your page and start it. Claim your page and start it. And if you haven't done a post this week, you already have one. Go do a post. Ask one client that you trust for a review. There's 3 things.
3 things. Go claim your page, ask a client for a review, put some content out there. What is the best type of content for local search?
Something that's authentic and real and relevant to your market.
Love that. Are you talking about, like, so when you're doing your content, you said you take it from a global down to a local perspective, but like, are you also doing stuff about like new restaurants that open, or are you being kind of that tour guide or that
Yeah,
town
like we
ambassador?
have a new highway expansion, right? That's going to change the face of commercial real estate and a key local geography. So I'll like do a post on that, right? Or there'll be like a new mixed use environment coming on, or there'll be a fantastic development that was approved and it's going to change the face of a local like a geography. Then I'll do something on that.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. We always talk about the 395 here in Spokane, how it's never been finished. It's been there for I think 20 years and it still isn't done.
Yeah,
So that would actually be something interesting to talk about.
yeah.
New guest has entered the studio. Add to stage. I don't know who this new guest is, so that's not going to happen. You, I was like, I don't know who you are. What do you think the future of AI and local SEO is?
What do I think the future of AI and local SEO is? Like I'm like deep in this agentic AI movement, right? Like this has been my hobby, I feel like on the side for the last 6 months is learning and going into Claude Code and Claude Cowork and implementing and like my social feed is just full of it, right? Like these are the 8 things you missed this week in AI and this is the 4 things you need to implement in this. I think that philosophically, I think that we're going to all be able to understand who the AI actors are pretty quick. And it's going to come back, do a full circle into authentic human contact. And we're going to
Yep.
get exceptional at noticing patterns because that's what kind of creatures we are. So I think the people that are not utilizing AI are going to have like an advantage eventually. But for the time being, I think there's some good tools you can use to help you think through ways that you can be more relevant in your market. And I think if you're utilizing it for thought process invocation, then it will help you to be more effective with your marketing.
Yeah, I love
So,
that. Yeah, 100%. I think Fly and I, our show on Tuesday, we actually talked about in real life. So IRL events, even with everything that's going on with networking on social media and stuff like that, you have like OpenAI just paid somebody $300,000 to be like basically like an event coordinator to bring people
mhm.
to them to actually connect and network, and that's gonna be huge because as much as we are connected, as much as we do these things, right, we still want to have that connection with the person across the table, having coffee with them, really meeting face to face. And speaking of, I would be remiss if I didn't mention CREI Summit, which is actually where Drey and I, yeah, that's where we first met, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, CREI Summit is happening in September the 23rd through the 25th. It'll be in Savannah, Georgia this year. CREISummit.com is where you want to go to actually visit there. And also, I have an entire playbook guidebook that I'm going to be dropping in the Social Mastery VIP group about Google Business Profile. So if you want that, that'll be dropped in there today. Later on today, I've got to get it. There's a couple things that I got to get fixed on it, but it'll be dropped in there about how you can actually utilize your Google Business Profile. What are some of the best practices for that? Drey, if somebody wants to contact you, how do they get a hold of you? If they want to talk about commercial real estate, they want to talk about sick kids.
You're setting me up. I'm
Yeah,
just going to say, hey, Google me.
I love that. So leave them a Google review. But
Yeah.
how do they get a hold of
Yeah,
you?
I'll get right a hold of you. You can Google me. I'm on every platform, I think, except for TikTok because I'm 43 and I just haven't gone down that path yet. But no, email me at dreyc@leeidaho.com and you can visit me on LinkedIn or wherever you'd like, and I will respond to you.
Awesome, Drey. Thank you so much for showing up this morning. I appreciate
Yeah.
you for being here and for kind of answering the call. So,
Yeah.
thank you. We'll see everybody back here on Tuesday. Miss Fly will be back, and we'll see you then. Everybody have a great weekend.
Bye.
To the talk of the town, busy rubbers everywhere and tap in with the crew. Social surge in the building, now the spotlight's on you. Yeah, hashtags dialed in the captions tight. Reels hit smooth like a cruise at night. From property tours to the market talk, we make the